plant in Zaporizhzhia, renewing concerns over the safety of Europe's largest nuclear facility. Now, the southern region of Kherson was recently liberated by the Ukrainians after 8 months of Russian occupation. More than a week after Russian troops retreated, the city of Kherson and its surrounding villages are now slowly returning to life. DW's Nick Connolly visited the region, including the village of Blagodatne, the scene of some of the worst fighting in the region.
Meow. Depende sa taas, ha?
Or what's left of it. For months, Russia and Ukraine fought tooth and nail for every meeting there. In the end, Russia's forces collapsed, unable to cope with Ukraine's relentless attacks on their supply lines. The victory has come at a steep price. This village was just behind the Ukrainian forward positions. Intact houses with the exception of it.
Parang si Kuting.
Rockets like these are just one of the dangers. Many more are hidden. Heading towards Kherson, we crossed what until a week ago was the front line. The Ukrainian army wants to show us that they take care not to hit civilians in
Meow.
their homes, unlike their Russian
Puding.
opponents. This village, Blagodatne, is certainly in much better shape than the one that just left, even though until recently it was home to a Russian base. After so many months cut off from the outside world, people here are glad to finally tell their stories.
The Russians would break into houses, empty them, take anything they came across. They could stop you on your bike and just take it off you. The same with phones. As soon as it got dark, you just had to lay low. If we saw them,
Arthur,
we'd turn around and
ito si
make
Pepay.
ourselves
O,
scarce.
magkapatid si Pepay.
Most of this village's residents couldn't get used to the fighting and life under occupation. But leaving wasn't an option for everyone.
What about my animals? Who would I have left my chickens, my goats, my piglets with? What do I do about my cows? Lots of people here left after our husband and wife were killed. First, a shell killed the husband at home, and 40 days later, his widow was killed by another shell in the same house.
We meet Ilya. She works at the village school, which Russian soldiers took over as their base. She's just been inside.
Bawal aso sa kama eh.
Punong-puno ng healthy flavors of donut. With San Marino.
February 24th, 2022, 5:30 a.m. local. Russian President Vladimir Putin is going live to millions of people around the world, announcing a special military operation to denazify Ukraine. Even as Putin announces the beginning of his invasion, 24 Mi-8s are already penetrating Ukrainian airspace. The transport helicopters are carrying over 100 of Russia's most elite air assault troops, the very cream of the crop of the Russian military. Accompanying them is a flight of Ka-52 attack helicopters to provide escort, security, and fire support.
Very good, mga kapanalig.
The trip is 250 kilometers
Si
from their
Arthur,
starting
oh.
bases in Belarus.
Si Arthur eh. Naging
For half an hour by the time
pasensya ka na mga batang kapanalig. Batang malikot.
The nation is hot on the heels of a massive missile assault on Ukraine in preparation for the invasion. Caliber cruise missiles raining down on strategic targets across the nation, prioritizing known air defense sites. Many air defense radars are destroyed. Many more, however, survive. Yet, under intense missile and electronic warfare attack, Russia achieves the only true victory of the war by completely disrupting Ukraine's extremely dense air defense network. It'll take days for the network to reform itself.
Arthur,
But for now, Russia has
Batang
near
malikot.
uncontested airspace above the nation. But such a long-reaching air
Magsisingil
assault
kayo
comes
dyan.
with risk.
Labas.
It would only take one battery of Ukrainian air defenses to destroy the entire assault team. So the helicopters fly fast and low, skimming over the treetops. The Vozdушно-десантные войска России, the Russian name for the airborne force.
Kinalabosa
They rely
kayo.
on speed, surprise,
Batang
and
malikot.
even a fair bit of bravery to seize victory. And if they accomplish their objective today, the war for Ukraine will be over by the end of the week.
Bibig mo.
Hostomel Airport, also known as Antonov Airport, will
Batang
allow Russia to fly in
malikot.
thousands of troops right on Kyiv's doorstep for a decapitation strike on President Zelensky's regime. As the helicopters penetrate deep into Ukraine, though, the mission planners have made one fatal mistake. Russian troops are not as well equipped as their Western counterparts, and even these elite aviators and paratroopers lack enough night vision equipment to undertake such a risky operation in the dark. Thus, the assault begins right before sunup. But this also gives Ukrainian defenders a clear view of the approaching helicopters. As the choppers near the Dnipro River, they're no longer obscured by tree cover or buildings, giving Ukrainian troops clear lines of fire at the approaching formation. Caught out in the open with no possible means of defending themselves, the helicopter assault immediately comes under fire from heavy machine guns. One of the Mi-8 helicopters is brought under withering cannon fire as bullets riddle the belly of the aircraft and cockpit. Seconds later, it drops out of the sky, smashing into the far riverbed. A Ka-52 attack helicopter tries to suppress the enemy defenders and unleashes a rocket barrage on a heavy machine gun position. However, as it banks away, a soldier using a shoulder-fired Stinger missile lets loose, the missile striking true and blowing the Ka-52 out of the sky. A few hundred meters away, another soldier
Batang malikot.
into the gripstock of the Stinger system. The unit immediately releases high-pressure argon gas, the pressure causing the gas to become super chill. The gas is routed straight to the seeker of the missile, chilling it to sub-zero temperatures. Now ultra-sensitive to heat, the seeker is easily capable of spotting the telltale thermal signature of Russian helicopter engines even from 1,000 meters away. Squeezing a trigger, the rocket motor is ignited and the missile leaps into the air. The missile is smart enough to tell the difference between a helicopter's engine and the rapidly cooling exhaust, and course corrects to strike an Mi-8 directly below the gearbox. The helicopter immediately begins to spin out of control, crashing into the water at over 150 kilometers an hour seconds later. A cheer erupts from the defenders. Not a single Russian is seen escaping the rapidly sinking wreck.
Ang opening natin mga kaprarig mula sa Caritas, Manila.
Weather the sporadic defensive fire. The Ukrainians have been taken by surprise, despite the CIA's warning that an invasion was imminent. However, not all warnings went unheeded, and the airport has had multiple defenses installed over the last 2 weeks. But a traitor has already given away the location of these defenses to Russian intelligence, and the assault nears the airfield. The Ka-52s take the lead. Each attack chopper knows exactly what target to hit and quickly move to neutralize heavy machine guns and troop emplacements with cannon and rocket fire. The Ukrainian defenders manning these positions are taken completely by surprise.
Si Arthur, oh. Sana?
Not all defensive positions are surprised like this, though, and soon the sound of helicopters and explosions alert the garrison troops into action. These aren't Ukrainian regulars, though. These men are mostly reservists who did not expect to be bearing the brunt of an attack by Russia's most elite troops. They're initially overwhelmed, but soon the attacking helicopters come under withering fire. The Ka-52s wheel over the airfield and launch a fresh volley of rockets and cannon fire, ripping into defenders. In the distance, the sound of the approaching Mi-8s can be heard, and the Ukrainian defenders realize they're about to be overwhelmed. Serhiy Falatyuk, however, refuses to break and run, and brings his 9K-38 Igla to his shoulder, lining up a shot on an attacking Ka-52. The missile strikes true, and the marauding helicopter is sent plummeting to the ground. The defenders cheer and are rallying. They won't give this airfield up so easily after all. The Russians were told ground fire would be light and sporadic, but as the main air assault begins to enter the airfield, they're met with fire that is anything but light and sporadic. Captain Ivan Bolgiev is in one of the lead helicopters when suddenly it's strafed by heavy machine gun fire. The helicopter sputters and stalls in the sky, forcing the pilots to bring it to a very hard and unpleasant stop on the grass below. The men inside are thrown about and jarred in their seat harnesses, but all survive the emergency.
Walang lipatan mga kapanalig dito sa Kensiao sa Veritas, ang news din ng simbahan.
The men rush to create a defensive perimeter around their